Most people walk into the gym and train their muscles. They pick exercises, they hit their sets, they chase the pump, and that works up to a point. But if you watch elite strength athletes, power lifters, Olympic weightlifters, elite sprinters, they're doing something different. They're not just training muscles, they're training their nervous system. And that distinction is exactly why they're stronger, faster, and more explosive than people who spend just as much time in the gym. Today, I'm going to show you how to think about your nervous system as a trainable system and what protocols actually develop it. Your central nervous system, your brain and spinal cord, is the command center for every movement you make. It decides which muscles fire, how many fibers activate, how fast they contract. When you're training for strength, you're not just asking your muscles to grow, you're asking your nervous system to become more precise, more powerful, and more efficient at sending the right signals at the right time. Here's the distinction that changes everything: CNS fatigue versus muscular fatigue. Muscular fatigue is local. Your quads are shot, your chest is pumped out, your biceps are cooked, you feel it in the muscle, and you recover from it in 24 to 48 hours with adequate sleep and nutrition. CNS fatigue is systemic. It's not in one muscle. It's in the system that runs all of them. When you're CNS fried, you feel heavy. Your coordination is off. Your reaction time slows. Warm-up weights feel hard, and recovery takes longer. Sometimes 2 to 4 days, sometimes more. This is why training heavy every single day works for almost nobody. And it's why the best strength athletes program their heavy neural work carefully rather than grinding through it every session. If you've ever had a session where the bar felt like it weighed twice what it should and you'd slept fine and eaten well, you were probably CNS fatigued. Now you know why. So what actually develops the nervous system? Here are the protocols that have the most evidence behind them: heavy singles and triples. Working at 90% of your 1 rep max and above is one of the most direct ways to train maximal motor unit recruitment. You can't develop the ability to recruit your full motor unit pool without occasionally going there. Singles and triples do this with lower volume, which limits muscular damage while still delivering the neural stimulus. Contrast training. This is a more advanced method, and it's powerful. You pair a heavy compound movement with an explosive movement that uses the same muscle groups. Example: heavy back squat followed immediately by box jumps, or heavy bench press followed by medicine ball chest throws. The heavy set potentiates the nervous system. It essentially wakes it up. And then the explosive movement trains rate of force development while that neural activation is elevated. This is called post-activation potentiation, and it's a legitimate performance tool. Rest periods. For neural work, you need real rest. 3 minutes minimum between heavy sets, 5 minutes for true maximal efforts. This isn't optional. Your nervous system doesn't recover in 90 seconds. If you shortchange the rest, you turn a neural session into a metabolic session. And those adaptations are completely different: frequency versus volume. For hypertrophy, more volume generally produces more growth. For neural development, frequency with lower volume per session tends to work better. Multiple quality exposures to a heavy movement pattern, 3 to 4 times per week, kept relatively fresh, builds the neural pattern faster than one long grinding session per week. There are 3 mistakes I see constantly with neural training. First, training through CNS fatigue. If your performance is degraded, if the bar feels heavy, coordination is off, or your strength is notably down, that is not the day to push neural work. That's the day to pull back, do some lighter technique work, and let your system recover. Grinding through CNS fatigue doesn't build resilience. It builds injury risk and stalled progress. Second, not separating neural days from volume days. Your weekly training structure should have clear heavy days and clear volume days. Blending them, doing 5 rep maxes, followed by 4 sets of 15 on the same movement, dilutes both adaptations. Heavy days go heavy, volume days go volume. Third, ignoring the data. Neural development is slow and invisible to the eye, but it shows up clearly in performance numbers over time. If you're not logging your heavy sessions, weights, reps, how the bar moved, you have no way of knowing whether your nervous system is actually adapting. You're just guessing. This is exactly why Swole Journal has a weekly view built in. When you log your sessions consistently, you can look at your week and see how many heavy neural days did I actually do? How many were volume days? Am I balancing the stimulus correctly? Or have I been grinding through the same metabolic work for 6 weeks, wondering why my strength isn't moving? The data doesn't lie, but only if you capture it. Download Swole Journal, log your training, see your nervous system develop in real time, because the numbers will show you what the mirror can't. Train the system, track the gains. I'll see you in the next one.